Well, now it is Sunday, and I don't remember the date, but it's Sunday. Now, late afternoon, about 4:30. Been out here all day since about 8 o'clock this morning. Just on and off. Finishing up this hood here, filling in some minor dents and dings, getting them all fixed up. There's one small dent here that I didn't see until I put the hood away, so this is ready to be sanded on. It's been sitting for a good hour. The worst part of this hood was this area right here. Other than that, that's fixed, all ready to go. Had a spot here too. You guys go right there. Had to fix that. It looked like somehow a hole had gotten there. Someone tried to weld it up. Did a pretty bad job of it. That's okay. Went ahead and went in with Eastwood's rust encapsulator and sprayed all up in here with it. As you guys can see, it's all black and everything. So this stuff's supposed to be pretty decent, and just been letting it cure. It takes quite a while to cure up. Went ahead and got down in there too. Basically all the areas I couldn't really get with the with paint and everything, and with the blaster I just went ahead and tried to get with the rust encapsulator. You can get the cans, I think they're like 12 bucks a can or something like that. It's this stuff right here. And got my smoothie. I don't know about y'all, but here in Oregon we got this place called Dutch Bros. Pretty good stuff. Alright. Just fixing to finish up this core support here. Not core support, this is the grill support. This had a couple dents in it that need to be fixed. One major dent there. That was kind of fun trying to form the filler. I got the dent hammered out as best I could, and then just kind of had to form it the rest of the way with the filler. But I think I've done a pretty decent job. And then had a little dent up here, and then I didn't get the putty laid quite right, and a little hole appeared right here, so filled that on in, letting that cure up, and then I'll sand that down. And this thing's going to be ready for primer. I'm going to try and get it primed in today. I've got to put some rust encapsulator in spots. I'm kind of putting a rust encapsulator in the areas where the most water is, and in the areas that I remember were rusty, were rusted up the most. So that way it just kind of helps for the future. Mainly it's made to be put down on surface rust, but you know, if it can help prevent rust, which is kind of what it's supposed to do, figure put it down in some of the spots that tend to get a little more water on them. So hopefully it'll prevent some surface rust in the future. If not, oh well. But mainly up in here where I can get with a rattle can, I went ahead and sprayed. This all up in here is going to be black anyway. The underneath of this hood is going to be black. Yeah, don't mind that there. That's that's a blemish I'm going to keep. I'm not too concerned about it. I'm going to sand that down a little bit. But that's a blemish I'm going to keep. I can live with that. Anyway. This here, all underneath, is going to be black, all in here, and then underside of this hood. So, a little bit more progress today. Dang, is it hot? I'll say that. It's another hot day. Tell you what, I'm loving that fan. That's been a great motivator to stay out here today. Luckily, my blasting / priming booth is in the shade. So up here I've got one of the fenders, went ahead and sprayed it in some of the rust encapsulator as well, just in the areas I really couldn't get that well, like all up in here, and these are the areas that tend to get the most water. So went ahead and sprayed that on in, and then I've got some rot repair to do here, so definitely plenty of that. And then still working on this fender. The whole outside's done. Just working on the inside, but I got tired of wire wheeling, so taking a break and doing some body work. Get some of these darn fenders done. Went ahead and rust encapsulated up there too. So anything helps. Just a little bit more preventative to keep the rot from coming on in the future. That's for sure. So make this paint last as long as possible. Well, we'll see what happens this evening. Not sure if I'm going to just make this a video or go ahead and see if I do a part 2. I guess it just depends on where I get today. But yeah, we're just slowly working at it. A little bit more touching up to do on this thing, and then we're putting it in some primer. And then I got to figure out if I'm going to filler prime it today, if I'm going to paint some black today, or what I'm going to do. One problem is I only have 24 hours with the primer before I have to sand on it to paint. So if I do it, I'm going to try and do it as late as possible today, so that maybe tomorrow I can go ahead and put some paint down on it, and we'll see what happens. So I'm going to keep crack-a-lacking, as Chevaholic used to say, and we'll see what happens. Well, it's late in the evening, and finally calling it a day. 8 o'clock, and I've been out since 8 o'clock. I got a lot less done than I was hoping for today, but that's okay. Progress is progress. Well, the front of this is filler primed. Got about 3 or 4 good coats down. Got it on there nice and thick so I can have plenty to sand down to the 4 and the 600 for the metallic, and as well as for the just everything I'm going to paint. I'm painting the blue, the silver, and the black. And then back here I just left in the epoxy primer, and I'm just going to go ahead and paint this black and clear coat it. I'm debating on when I'm going to do the black on this, because I'm thinking what I'll go ahead and do is sand this all down and get it ready with the 4 and 600. That way I can paint the black, paint the blue and the silver, and then clear it all at once. So it's going to make it a little difficult. It's going to be kind of a rush, so we'll see. It's going to be interesting how I do this here. I really don't want to do the blue and the clearing here, but the wind's been down lately, so as far as the dirt getting on everything, that's been pretty low. So I think we might be okay, and I might just go ahead and do it. We'll see. Gonna let this cure up overnight and then get back on it tomorrow. Alright, you guys have a good one. See ya. Well, now it's Saturday. Getting some black laid down today after a heck of a lot of prep work. I got the filler primer sanded down to 600 where it needs to be, and 400 where I'm painting the black. So what I've decided to do is just go ahead and do the background in black, and then I'm going to do a silver strip all the way around, and then the rest is going to be the metallic blue. So black didn't come out too bad, a little orange peely, but it's going to be clear coated, so that will help fill that in a bit. But other than that, pretty smooth. This is single stage, so that's why there is a little bit of a shine to it already, but I am going to put clear coat over it as well. So I went ahead and got the back. All the back is done. So just letting those dry for a good couple hours, and then I'm going to pull the tape off and remask so I can paint the silver. Let that base coat dry for a good hour or so, paint the blue, remask again, paint the blue, and then we'll be ready for some clear. So we'll see. Don't know if I'm going to get to it all today. I might get to the silver and then have to call it if it gets too hot. I'm going to come back out in the morning, but see what happens. Alright, we'll get back to you. Another day in paradise. Getting ready to hit the parts store. Gotta go grab some paint cans. Letting this old girl warm up. It's been a few days. Actually, most of this week since she's ran. The old V6 is still purring on. Just gave her an oil change last weekend. Clacking away like they always do. I think I jinxed this motor when I painted it green. She leaks oil worse than she did before I did the top end and the bottom end. It's time for new valve cover gaskets. That cork's just shrunk down to the point where it ain't even sealing anymore. But the oil filter's been sealing up just fine, which is a good plus. Been running 2050 in it, and it's got a brand new oil pump, so I know the oil pressure's been pretty high in this thing, probably around 60-70 pounds. which is actually what these things ran supposedly with straight 30. So who knows what it's at with 2050. But just keeps on hurrying away. Making many trips out to where I work with this old truck several times. It's about 32, 33 miles one way. And she's been doing 55, 60 miles an hour, which is about 25, 2600 RPM the whole way. Sounds great pulling the hills at full throttle though. Sounds like an airplane. Big old airplane pulling a hill basically. During a climb or something. These old V6s definitely had their own sound to them. People ask if it's a V8 because I always say it's a 305. You go like, well, that's a halfway decent V8. And I just tell them, no, it's a very decent big old V6. That's when they look at me funny. Anyway, to the update. So I just realized I had a couple videos in my editor. And of course they're the scenes that you already watched. But I didn't finish the video. And I forgot to show you guys the finished product here. So this grill support is done. And here is the final 3 colors all together. Went with the blue, the meteor gray metallic, and then the black background. That's pretty much a stock 3-tone color scheme for the 60s for a custom truck. They would have done the 3 tones like this. I've seen it many different ways. I've seen them go with the, for instance, using these colors, I've seen them go with a blue background, the stripe, and blue body color. I've seen them go with the same color, so no stripe or anything, just all one color, and then I've seen them go with this 3 tones. So it seemed like you could pretty much just special order what you wanted, I think, back in the day. But anyhow, it's not cut and buffed, so it's a little orange peely. But the cool thing is there is absolutely no tape lines. That's what makes me happy about this, because I was able to overlap the blue just a little bit, and then I put 6 solid coats of clear, and that overrode the tape line that the base coat has, and you can't even tell. I've looked this thing over with a fine line, and you can't really even tell that there's a tape line. It just looks like it meets right together. So there you guys have it. This project here took a full solid day just to paint. Just, you know, typical 4 coats of base. I only did about 2 or 3 coats of black, but the metallics I have to do a good 4 coats to match the rest of it, so it's the same darkness. Same with the silver, I did 4 coats, and then she got 6 heavy coats of clear. Darn near, I don't know, two full cups of clear. So, oh man, I'm waiting on some more clear, and as you guys can see, we got some more parts and pieces in black. 2 inner fenders, but that'll be another story. So I'm gonna head out to the parts store. Hope you guys are having a great Thursday. I got the day off again today, so taking my old favorite pickup here, old Crustine. Alright, catch you on the next one. See ya.